Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie, and just a quick one on the Russell Brand theme. So something that I noticed today in the news, and I think is very interesting. There's a few weird things happened today, so I just want to now a lot. Obviously, you all, if you're watching this on here, you all know about YT. Gosh, I'm YOUTUBE. I'm actually feeling really Orwellian as I'm making this video. So as you probably know, YOUTUBE has demonetized Russell Brand after all these accusations, etc. Now, if you've watched any of my videos on this, you'll know that I think that it probably has done things in the past. But my question would be, why is it all coming out now? And anyway, apparently this other platform, which I didn't really know much about before this, RUMBLE. And the reason I'm spelling these things out is, you probably know, but another creator you may, a lot of my viewers watch, has been removed from YT. And when I say removed, I mean terminated. No ifs, buts, whys, explains, change this, just terminated, just like I was on Twitter, which I still don't know why I was terminated from Twitter with well, they said there was an appeal, but every time I tried to appeal, I'd send off the email and literally within a second I'd get a reply back saying my appeal had been looked at and it hadn't been successful. So it hadn't been looked at, obviously, in a second. So I was on some sort of blacklist, which there was no way my account was ever going to get reinstated. And I still don't know why, because, I hardly even use Twitter, Twatter, as I call it. And the only thing I could think of is, because I did say that I thought the new X looks like an advert for an escort service. So whether that flagged up, whether I pissed it, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that Elon Musk didn't like the comment, because he is a real micromanager, isn't he? He's not a macro manager, doesn't leave other people to sort things out for him. I expect he just sits there all day going through his messages, even though they, not leave anyone else to do it. But anyway, I'm hoping that I can talk about him freely on here, because probably on YT they hate Elon Musk. Please God, don't ever let him buy YT. Please God, because he's one of those people who says he's for free speech, but he actually isn't. Free speech, as long as it agrees with what I says, that's what he means. Anyway, so yeah, this other creator has just been terminated, and I'm not going to make comments about the creator. I've got my own ideas about why they've been terminated, but I don't know, because apparently they haven't given any reason, not a particular reason. I think, constantly, after years have gone by, being nasty to someone whose family member has been murdered is probably a good idea, a good reason in my estimation. But anyway, so yeah, I don't want to get into that. I have a real sympathy there, whatever I think of the channel or not. It must be a horrible feeling. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I would never glory in anything like that, whatever, the background is or whatever. It's just, it won't be very nice, and it'll have been difficult. So you can't revel in someone's discomfort, because then you just make yourself as bad as them, really. Anyway, but this now, apparently this other platform, this other social media platform, RUMBLE, and if you're watching that, the other creator, this is where you need to get on if you want to continue. I think that put me off continuing if it happened to me. But anyway, if it's your only income, then what else can you do? So this other platform, RUMBLE, has received a letter from an MP inquiring about the advertising revenue of Russell Brand. And the platform says this letter is disturbing and dangerous. So it's interesting, isn't it? Because whatever you think of this guy who's caused all this fuss, whatever you think or don't think of him, maybe he was guilty, whatever you think of it, the mainstream media has only come for him now, when he's not on the mainstream media anymore, or when he's, challenging things in life, more. So that to me is suspicious. I personally, as I say, I do think he did those things, but nobody pulled him up then. Everybody probably knew what he was doing. Nobody pulled him up then. And I was watching a video by Katie Price talking about Philip Schofield, saying, oh, everybody, she was working on this morning then when that all first started with the runner, etc. Oh yes, everybody knew. Well, Katie, you're the outspoken one. Why didn't you say something then? Why didn't anybody say anything then? That's my critique, is while someone's the star, protect the star. Hugh Edwards, I did the video on it yesterday. Hugh Edwards, Rolf Harris, Jimmy Savile, protect the star, and now they're all outraged about it, but it's, they allowed it to happen. So RUMBLE has refused to follow in YT's steps and demonetize Russell Brand after the allegations. I'm going to be really careful what I say, because I don't want to be thrown off YT. If my account was terminated, I'd be really upset, because I've put a lot of work and effort into it. I've built up a really nice community, and I think we all enjoy being on there together, don't we, in the lives and the things, and I would be really, really upset. So I certainly don't want to be removed from there. So I'm going to be extra careful. They always demonetize my content because it's to do with true crime most of the time. So it's normally quite contentious. I haven't got time to wait a week until they decide whether it's okay or not. When something comes up in the news, I want to put it out there and then. Anyway, so this free speech video streaming platform said it was deeply inappropriate and dangerous for another dame, all these dames, Caroline Dinenage, chair of the House of Commons Media Committee. My God, it's just now is it going to go from an old boys club to an old girls club? They're all dames, it seems. Anyway, so they've been to ask, they received, they said it was deeply inappropriate and dangerous for Dame Caroline to ask if they would stop brand earning advertising revenue on RUMBLE. So the 48-year-old comedian who found fame in stand-up comedy and on traditional TV is thought to have made most of his money in recent years through uploading videos on YT and RUMBLE, and he's now been banned from making money on YT after these allegations. And don't forget, the allegations were made in a joint investigation by the Sunday Times and Channel 4. And the BBC is joining in on it. So it's almost like they are ganging up against him. It's not the left wing, some left wing witch hunt at all. This is the mainstream media ganging up on him for whatever reason. So, of course, he's denying the allegations. So the RUMBLE account, where he has 1.42 million followers, the fifth most of anyone on the platform, will remain monetized. And in a statement, RUMBLE said the letter was extremely disturbing, adding that while we obviously deplore SARAPE and all serious crimes, and we believe that both alleged victims and the accused are entitled to full and serious investigation, it is vital to note that recent allegations against RB have nothing to do with the content on RUMBLE's platform. We regard it as deeply appropriate and dangerous that the UK Parliament would attempt to control who is allowed to speak on our platform or to earn a living from doing so. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Singling out an individual and demanding his ban is even more disturbing, given the absence of any connection between the allegations and his content on RUMBLE. Although it may be politically and socially easier for RUMBLE to join a cancel culture mob, doing so would be a violation of our company's values and mission. We emphatically reject the UK Parliament's demands. Now, I think this has caused a war, hasn't it, between the social media, the mainstream media. This war was coming. The mainstream media is just losing, hand over fist, losing viewers day in, day out because of its insipidity. And it's just boring. Nobody takes it seriously anymore. People are switching to social media platforms like YT or this RUMBLE. And let me tell you right now, if I disappear from YT anytime, look for me on there, because that's where I'll be going as well. I would be devastated if my channel was taken off, and I think most creators would. And whatever you think of any creator that's been terminated, it's not something in my eyes to revel in, because, you know, karma's a bitch. Probably shouldn't even say bitch. Probably not even allowed to say karma. Not even sure what I'm allowed to say. Anyway, there's an interview on, so Andrew Tate has gone to RUMBLE, and as much as, you know, Andrew Tate is not my favourite person, but I do believe in free speech. You know, and he hasn't been convicted of anything yet. You know, he's been charged, and if he's found guilty, that's a whole different thing, isn't it? But people have to be found guilty. Anyway, so apparently the letter they got from this dame was, we would be grateful if you would confirm whether Mr. B is able to monetize his content, including his videos relating to the serious accusations against him. Because he did make that video, didn't he, where he just said what was going to happen. If so, we would like to know whether Rumble, oh my God, we said the word. Please don't cancel me, YouTube, please. Anyway, intends to join YT in suspending Mr. B's ability to earn money on the platform. We would also like to know what RUMBLE is doing to ensure that creators are not able to use the platform to undermine the welfare of victims of inappropriate and potentially illegal behaviour. So, yeah, it's popular with such commentators as Andrew Tate. He claims he has a $9 million deal with the platform. Now, I want to listen to this woman. This is Alex Mann. She's the one behind the Channel 4 dispatches. Now, to me, what these people are saying now, they're responsible for creating Russell Brand's and Jimmy Savile's and Philip Schofield's and Hugh Edwards's and Rolf Harris's. They're the ones. I mean, the people themselves are responsible for their actions, of course, but these are enablers. They were the stars. They were protected at all costs. So let's just see what this woman's got.
We meet in a week when, yet again, our industry is very much in the public spotlight. And while I will go on in a minute to talk about the theme of the conference, I will start by addressing those news headlines. The allegations made against Russell Brand are horrendous. And as the CEO of Channel 4 and as a woman in our industry, I found the behavior described in Dispatches and the Sunday Times and the Times articles disgusting and saddening. The allegations, of course, need to be followed up further, and we and the BBC and Banijay are busy investigating. And Channel 4 has invited anyone who knows about this behavior to come to us. We've written to all our suppliers to say the same, and we've set up a process for people to contact us anonymously if they need to. They're not empty words or gestures from all of us. They are what is meant by our duty of care. We will seek to find out who knew, who was...
See, they're talking about a duty of care now, but where was the duty of care then?
Told what, and what was or wasn't referred up. But what is clear to me is that terrible behavior towards women was historically tolerated in our industry. And the clips we've seen as well provide a rather shocking jolt when one realizes what appeared on air not that long ago. The behavior is...
Well, exactly. It appeared on air not that long ago, but it was them who put it on air.
Less prevalent now, but it's still a problem. And it's something that we must all confront. There is still more change that needs to come, and Channel 4, along with those others, are at the forefront of that change. However, our RTS conference was planned over many months. And while the agenda does not directly relate to the events of the past few days, I've no doubt our conversations will touch upon it.
Yeah. So let me see, let me just make that smaller. So yeah, that's what she's got to say about it. But what seems to me, you know, cancel culture is not a good thing. I don't like it. To me, you've got to, I mean, unless there are actual, you know, crimes that were committed, but for all the stupid sort of jokes and stupid things that people said and did years ago before people realised that these things were offensive, I think you just got to. It's like saying that the Holocaust didn't exist. Of course, it existed. You don't stop talking about it because, you know, you almost have to talk about it to make it. Horrible things that happen, if you don't talk about them or you pretend that they never happened or they never existed, how do you see the difference? You know, I think it's good now that we can look back on things from even only 10 years ago and go, oh gosh, that was a bit near the mark, or that was it. It's good that we can do that. What we're supposed to do, just eradicate them as if they never happened. And, you know, at the end of the day, he was celebrated then. It was a different time. You know, I can't obviously support him if he actually did commit SRAPE on anyone. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his stupidity, if you like, or his childishness, the way he spoke to women and that. It's good to look back on it and see how ridiculous it looks, because that's how far we've travelled even in that short time. You know, you can't sort of just forget something ever happened. It happened. You know, and what you've got to do is learn from it, surely, or maybe I'm wrong. You'll tell me what you think. Some of you will agree, some of you won't agree, I know. And it's a very, what's the word? It's a very polarizing subject, isn't it? It's a very important subject. And, you know, I don't want to, I'm just giving my opinion. You've all got your opinions, and I respect everyone's opinion as long as they're respectful in the way that they express it. But I do think this is strange how they're all getting together. So you've got the BBC, Channel 4, and all the sort of mainstream media outlets, the newspapers, the Sunday Times, leading this investigation. Now, why didn't they do it 10 years ago? You know, why? Because he wasn't a threat to them then. He was part of them. Now he's a threat to them. And I'm telling you, is he the only one? No, he won't be the only one. There'll be, you know, and the ones that have come out since, Hugh Edwards, Philip Schofield, Rolf Harris, that have all come out in the not so distant future. Yeah. There's going to be lots more, isn't there? There's going to be lots more. And these corporations, they're going to have to explain why they did not do anything about it at the time. Why they're doing something about it now. You know, now that it's historic, it should have been dealt with at the time. And I say that to everyone, including Katie Hopkins. No point in you saying you knew about it now, Katie, or anyone. Piers Morgan. Oh yes, we all knew it was Hugh Edwards. I remember him saying that when the Hugh Edwards thing was going on. Well, we all know who it is. Why don't they know? Well, how did he know who it was? So did they know that Hugh Edwards was doing things like this? It was probably a standing joke in the BBC. You know what it's like in workplaces. Rumours go around that people know what people are up to. I've worked in lots of workplaces where things went on that I couldn't even tell you about on here. I definitely would get struck off. People sleeping with managers to get the holidays they want. All sorts of things. I've seen it. Not me. Not me. Oh no. Gosh, no, because luckily I was young enough to not, I lived at home. I didn't really need anything from the managers. But, there was a lot of women working in some of the places where I've worked, like when I was young in my Saturday jobs and things. When I think about it now, the things that we knew it was all going on. It was just, but nobody thought to go to the police about it, or, it just was something that was going on. And now times are different, and it's good that times are different, though I'm sure it still goes on in some places. Anyway, there you go. So that was what I wanted to come on and say. So it's interesting. So if you, that creator that has been terminated from YT, if you do want to carry on, which if I were you, I wouldn't bother, to be honest. But that's the place to go, RUMBLE. And if one day, God forbid, I should ever disappear, terminated from YT, look for me there, because I'll be there. Well, depending, I might have given up myself then by then. Oh God, I literally would be devastated, because it's not only all your content, all your work, it's all the comments, it's the community you've built. It's a very, very sad thing, I think. People should be given an opportunity, at least. Remove this. We're not having this. You're not doing that. Before just removing someone completely, in my opinion anyway. But so if you remember, I'll see you later in the members live. If you're watching this on Thursday the 21st of September, we've got members live coming out tonight. I'm going to be very careful with what I say. I'm telling you that now. We've got to all be very careful, because the last thing I would want is to be removed from YT. I always try and be respectful, not too disrespectful of people. But, sometimes you are saying your opinions, and, I don't know. So we've all got to be careful of that. Anyway, I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye.